My name is Ashley Schimke. I work with the Arizona Department of Education in their Health and Nutrition Services Division. My job is to focus on farm to school and school garden programs. I've been with the state since 2011, and I will share a little bit about the department. So the department manages the USDA child nutrition programs, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. But first, I want to remind everyone about nutrition programs. USDA's focus within their Food and Nutrition Service Division is to reduce childhood obesity and feed hungry kids. So this is just a map about childhood obesity. Arizona is around that orange percentile, that 25 to 29%. And I couldn't actually find an updated statistic from the Center for Disease and Prevention, which shows that recently our childhood obesity rates have actually increased slightly. I'm also showing you a statistic here for childhood hunger in Arizona. This stat comes from Feeding America, just showcasing the amount of food insecurity that exists amongst our childhood population. You'll see 45 or 46% of our households are receiving SNAP, which benefit our children. And to put that in a more simplistic number, 1 in 5 or 20% of our children in Arizona actually face food insecurity, which as a result of COVID, we're actually seeing that number increase, but I couldn't find an updated number right now since the pandemic is happening now. I quickly wanted to share that we have 3 major federal child nutrition programs that we manage at the state. The National School Lunch Program, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. The dietary guidelines fit, or the nutrition guidelines fit the dietary guidelines for Americans. For teachers, we do have some budding resources for you to learn more about the National School Lunch Program and how you can be advocates and champions for kids to eat fresh, healthy food while at school. If you go to our Uplift page on our website, you'll see that there's an infographic here that explains the National School Lunch Program and all the sub-programs that fit underneath there. It also goes over the different nutrition standards. It was really tiny to put on the screen, so I figured I would leave that out. Something to note about the National School Lunch Program versus the Summer Food Service Program, which is what we're operating now and what we operated during school closures. Fruits and vegetables have to meet certain sub vegetable requirements, so different categories of vegetables, which can make serving food to children just a little bit more complicated. So this is a quick little meal pattern spreadsheet about the different ways that the Summer Food Service Program can operate. This program is unique in that both our schools can operate this program, and then also some nonprofit partners can operate this program, like food banks or faith-based communities, to make sure that students are being fed when school is out of session. And again, the unique thing about this program is that this was how we were operating across the state, emergency meals during the COVID school closures. For those of you that might be teaching little kids, we have the Child and Adult Care Food Program, which actually focuses on kids under the age of 5, and then our adult population over the age of 65. The new meal pattern was adjusted for this program in 2017, so we're still making adjustments to that program. Some of the popular things to note from that program is the sugar reduction requirements for cereals and yogurt, in addition to serving more fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to talk a little bit about farm to school programs. The National Farm to School Network identifies farm to school programs as buying local food for meals and snacks, implementing food, nutrition, or agriculture education with students, and engaging children in school gardens. And I'll talk a little bit more about school gardens in a little bit. Schools participate in farm to school activities, which include those 3 categories, 25% according to a response from the 2015 USDA Farm to School Census. I want to share a little bit about a program that our state offers to encourage our meal service operators to buy local food, teach kids about Arizona agriculture, and then to connect with their families and school communities about Arizona agriculture. Right now, actually next week, we'll start our 2020 Farm to Summer Challenge, which has had a few hiccups because COVID happened and we had to make some modifications. This challenge encourages our meal service operators to source at least 3 locally sourced summer food meal program meal components. Often we see fruits, vegetables, and milk be the top 3 components that are being served in our meal service programs. We also encourage our operators to teach Arizona, so they offer 2 enrichment or educational activities, which can be so many things. I'll show you a little bit about how we've modified that to be all online, and it showcases many of the programs and committee members that are on the Summer Ag Institute committee. And then our Connect Arizona Challenge is really to show on social media, the organization's website, or another platform that makes sense for that community. If on a social platform, you can use the Summer Fresh AZ, and that is how I find out about the challenge once the challenge has concluded. So these are 2 modifications that we made when we realized COVID wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. On the first, we have our Taste Arizona Challenge. As some of you might know, we have our Arizona Grab and Go Idea Gallery here. A lot of our meal service has switched from congregate meals, of course, to grab and go style meals, which has proved one more challenge for our food service operators. And to encourage them to buy from local farms, we've made this idea gallery of summer fresh fruits and veggies to give them suggestions on things that would hold up well in a grab and go sacked lunch. And then we have our Teach Arizona component, which is to support online learning of Arizona agriculture. So some suggestions include lessons and activities that come from our Arizona Commodity Associations and Extension Services, as well as videos that exist from schools that have been doing online learning amid the school closures. And now we have a video for Menzo. This is a video about a very strong school garden program down in Tucson.
Okay.
1 more?
Uh-huh. Well, 6 more.
6 more?
What's after 40? We use activities in the garden to help them with math and science skills. So.
Lauren McGran is a graduate student at U of A's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. She's here at Monzo Elementary School as an AmeriCorps volunteer, helping these kindergartners plant seeds in their garden. She's also helping them learn math.
37.
Yeah, I think is really important and is really different than a lot of the classroom methods that a lot of schools use, and I think it works really well.
Can you guys count to 6?
Yeah.
Let me see.
1, 2, 3.
Joining Lauren and the kids in the garden is Moses Thompson. He's the school counselor and founder of the ecology program at Monzo Elementary School in Tucson's Barrio Hollywood.
And make me a little hole right there.
Okay.
Monzo has historically been an underperforming school, and so the ecology program is one way we get the kids excited to come to school, is one way that we see that we can get students to see themselves as learners, to see themselves as scientists.
With low test scores and enrollment down, Monzo was one of 3 West Side neighborhood schools scheduled for closure by TUSD in 2012. Some have linked the school's survival and test score turnaround to its nationally recognized ecology program. Since its inception more than 7 years ago, the program has received numerous accolades from local, regional, and national organizations for its sustainability efforts. But it's the program's impact on academic results that has educators excited.
Over the past year, we've seen significant growth in the area of math. We now see that our ecology program is a way to close the achievement gap with our students.
7, 8.
It's effective because the kids see real-life applications of what they're learning in class, that math exists outside of the classroom, outside of textbooks, that it's a real-life skill.
What's step B?
Inside the classroom, Wes Oswald is a 3rd grade teacher at Monzo.
You combine them.
He says the hands-on method of the ecology program is helping to improve math comprehension in his students, while developing a greater appreciation for food production.
There's a lot of structure to this, otherwise it would just be mayhem in the garden. You have to put a lot of structure in place.
We harvest the eggs at the end of the day, and then we collect egg data, so that helps us with our math.
You have to add up how many eggs there are that you got in one day.
And then you also have to write how much brown, how much pink, how much white.
Yeah, do you know the funny thing is the chickens are probably hands down the kids' favorite thing at the school. I mean, the chickens are what get the kids are psyched to come to school.
While the chickens are the main attraction for the kids, the cornerstone of the ecology program is the aquaponics greenhouse.
We cut them from the stem, the ones that are ready, and we also sell them as well in our Montrose market.
And then we measure how much we have of pounds and ounces.
The greenhouse project was paid for by Catalina North Church of Tucson, whose representatives were looking to improve attendance and literacy rates at several Tucson neighborhood schools. The church put up more than $20,000 to fund the project.
Everything you see that's a part of the ecology program, it's not district funded. We have to grant write and look to community support to build and maintain this infrastructure that we have.
This ecology infrastructure has created more opportunity to teach math and science.
So that would be testing our hypothesis.
Michelle Coe is a graduate student at U of A's School of Geography and Development.
Same amount of sprouts. But
through a NASA graduate fellowship, Coe has incorporated a miniature version of a Biosphere 2 experiment known as the LEO project into Monzo's greenhouse. The LEO project, or Landscape Evolution Observatory, studies the hydrology, geochemistry, and ecology of 3 identical hill slopes, each totaling more than 3,500 square feet.
What's the observation that we
Coe is teaching Monzo 4th graders scientific methods used to conduct soil plant analysis experiments on their version of LEO.
So the observation and allowing the children to collect data and be part of the experiment overall by seeing what kind of seedlings can germinate in the volcanic soil and looking at climate change impacts and how the aspect and slope can affect the seeds. So they're collecting a bunch of stuff.
The work that Michelle Coe and her students are doing and the data they collect will actually be used in LEO studies by Biosphere 2 scientists.
Because of the greenhouse, we have 4th grade students that are doing research that's going to help drive decision making on a $7 million project that sits inside Biosphere.
These collect the bacteria inside. All that cycle, it creates nitrogen, which helps the plant grow.
The main footprint of the greenhouse is an intensive aquaponics food production system in which the students are simultaneously farming vegetable produce and the popular freshwater fish tilapia.
Where the tilapia provide nutrients for the plants and the plants provide filtration for the tilapia. It functions like an ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a swamp.
This aquaponics system produces substantially more food than all of our other in-ground gardens combined.
The sustainability efforts at Monzo are not limited to one area of the school. There are water harvesting cisterns and micro gardens throughout the campus, and children can be seen tending plants and recycling paper at every turn. Beyond the scientific method she teaches, Michelle Coe hopes to instill a sense of joy about science and discovery.
Not so wilted today, right? Overall, I'd like them to realize that science is fun and that anyone can be a scientist. They're being scientists right now, so I think that's important for them to know.
With test scores and enrollment trending upward, Moses Thompson continues to plant the seeds of opportunity for his students.
To give them access to U of A scientists, to give them access to cutting-edge infrastructure in the areas of sustainability, to give them access to very high-quality math instruction. And, for those kids that have their eyes set on the U of A, that it becomes more attainable.
That was a video that I really like. It really showcases how school gardens can be used as a learning tool in the classroom. I remind everyone that the Farm to School Network is a project of the Arizona Department of Education and our Arizona Farm to School programs. You're welcome to join that network and get newsletters and reminders about events that teach you about farm to school programs, including school gardens. You can find us at our website, azed.gov, and then you can email me directly at arizonafarmtoschool@azed.gov.